right, guys. Okay, so I'm starting to wake up. I was going to do, I was thinking of a word for peppermint juju, okay? And so I'm looking around, trying to think of something, and one of the books that I have right by me is The Outer Temple of Witchcraft by Christopher Penzak. And then I was thinking of the Inner Temple of Witchcraft that we had done like a year in a day kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, so temple, what does that mean to me? Okay, now this is going to get a little rated R, so you guys might want to have the children clear out. When I think of my inner temple, I think of my vagina, okay? And I think that all women should think of their vagina as an inner temple. I think that there should be commandments, and there's certainly some commandments for any supplicants that want to enter. And I think that if all women felt that way, things would be really, really different. Okay, so one of my rules, okay, one of my commandments would be that you can't be sticking your wand in any other person's inner temple if you're with me, number one, okay? Number two, there's, you have to have some offerings. You have to have something to offer me, okay? You can't just come up to the doors and try to get into the inner temple. And I think that if all women felt that way, there was a little bit of time before anyone entered their inner temple, things would be different too. Purification. If you wanted to come into my inner temple, you should be purified. You better make sure that you are clean and smell nice. And also purified in the sense that you come to me whole, like you're just mine, like we're just for each other, okay? So what I am going to do is I'm going to read something from the Red Tent, and then what I want you guys to do is, if you could have some commandments for your supplicants, or whatever words you want to come up with for your inner temple, what would it be? Or what do you wish it had been? Okay? And I'm going to read something a little weird it's from a book called The Red Tent, which I feel like if you have the opportunity to read this book, it is dynamite. Like, seriously awesome. Okay? This is a book about, she's taking a character from the Bible, and, I'm not that familiar, but, it's about a woman in the Bible who her character, I think, is violated, and the brothers come and they, or the father and the brothers come and they vindicate her or whatever. But Anita Diamant, or I hope that's how she says it, completely puts a different spin on it, which I love, and this is how she thinks it could have been. But it has a lot of stuff about so many, like, gods and goddesses and rituals, and it's totally about the great things about sisterhood and the not so great things about sisterhood. But it's just, her style is amazing to me. So in this, the Red Tent was a tent back in the day, obviously in biblical times, where a woman was allowed during her time of the month to sit in the tent for a certain amount of period, and it was a blessed reason. Like, it wasn't just because, like she was going to foul anything, but it was just her right to do that, because it was, she had the flowers of life, and so it was like an honor to go sit in the tent. And in there you could weave. I mean, you could do whatever you want. Some of the children were allowed to come in, but mostly it was just the women who were had their their moon phase, their moon every month, once a month. And so they have a ritual that they have for girls when they come when they get their period for the first time, because now they are they're past the the maiden stage. Now they can be a mother. And it's going to be a little weird, but I thought it would be so nice if some not this exactly, but just the way that it's sacred, the way that they do it. They take away her maidenhead, and it's all through love. Like, anyway, let me read it because it just sounds a little weird. Okay, so the character she's gotten her flowers. That's what I like flowers better than anything else. Her monthly, and so it says they're doing a ritual, and it says, okay, so in the next moment I found myself outside with my mother and my aunts. It's evening. We were in the wheat patch in the heart of the garden, a hidden place where grain dedicated to sacrifice was grown. The soil had been tilled in preparation for planting after the moon's return, and I was naked, laying face down on the cool soil. I shivered. My mother put my cheek to the ground and loosened my hair around me because the hair is so long. She arranged my arms wide to embrace the earth, and she whispered. She bent my knees and pulled the soles of my feet together until they touched, in order to give her first blood back to the land. And it said, I could feel the night air on my sex, and it was strange and wonderful to be so open under the sky. My mothers gathered around me, Leah above me, Bilhah at my feet, Zilpah's hand on the back of my legs, and I was grinning like a frog, half asleep, in love with them all. Rachel's voice behind me broke the silence. Mother, Inanna, queen of the night, accept the blood offering of your daughter in the mother's name, in your name. In her blood may she live. In her blood may she give life. And before this, they gave her, of course, they purified her, they anointed her, and they anointed her on the inside as well, so that you'll see why. And she was also given some herbs to kind of just make her, like, just happy. All right. And then it says it did not hurt. The oil eased the entry in the narrow triangle. It's a dagger-shaped triangle. Fit perfectly as it entered me. I faced the west, while the little goddess faced east as she broke the lock on my womb. When I cried out, it was not so much pain but surprise, and perhaps even pleasure, for it seemed to me that the queen herself was lying with me, and Dumuzi, her consort, beneath me. It was like a slip of cloth caught between their lovemaking. I was like a slip of cloth, warmed by their great passion. My mothers moaned softly in sympathy. If I could have spoken, I would have reassured them that I was perfectly happy, for all the stars of the night sky had entered my womb behind the legs of the smiling little frog goddess. On the softest, wildest night since the separation of land and water, earth and sky, I lay like a dog and felt myself spinning through the heavens, and when I began to fall, I had no fear. The midwife helped me to my feet and led me to a soft corner in the red tent. Did you dream? She asked me. I nodded that I had. She drew close and said, what shape did she take? Oddly, I knew what she wanted to know, but I didn't know what to call the creature that had smiled at me in my dreams. Was she in the water? I said yes, and Inna smiled. I told you the water was your destiny. This is a very old goddess, Taweret, an Egyptian goddess who lives in the river and laughs with a great mouth. She gives mothers their milk and protects all the children. My old friend kissed my cheeks and pinched them gently. This is all I know of Taweret, but in all my years I never knew a woman who dreamed of her. It must be a sign of luck, little one. Now sleep. And my eyes did not open until evening, and I dreamed all day about a golden moon between my legs, and in the morning I was given the honor of being the first one outside to greet the sun, the first daylight of the new moon. And that just, and the whole book is like that. I mean, it's just really, really amazing. But anyway, so love it, hate it, I don't know. But I would love video responses on maybe your take on the book, or definitely, what would be your rules for your inner temple. All right, guys. It's a little racy, I know. Oh, well. Love ya. Bye.